Well,
you
the
know.
truth of the matter is that, you see, until the pain of your situation is more than the pain it will take you to change, you don't change.
Mm,
Nobody changes in their comfort zone. People change where it is unbearable. Then you decide to either die or fight.
mm,
And that is even a choice. I'm not saying I'm a superwoman.
yeah.
I cry. I'm a crybaby.
Mm,
I cry. But after crying, I clean my face and I get up and I go and do what I need to do. A lot of men think being a man is the avoidance of being human, where they don't show emotions, where they have to be hard, men don't cry and things that they tell you. That is not who a man is supposed to be. A man is a human being. He's called a man just to identify him. You still have blood in your veins. Whatever hurts a woman can hurt you. But we have given this narrative that, oh, you're a man, you don't have to cry, you're a man, you have to be tough. Men are suffering. Let's talk about that one.
yeah.
You can be a man and still be in touch with yourself. And that's what true masculinity is about.
Mm,
Accepting who you are and acknowledging your emotions as they come. Don't avoid them because they say you should be a man. No. Being a man doesn't mean you don't have emotions. Men will come and say, I don't love, I don't this, I don't that. It doesn't make you a superman if you say, I don't have feelings, I don't have this, I don't have that. It doesn't make you more of a man. No, it actually means that you're a weak man.
This is the place where we explore the process behind success. Each week, we sit with inspiring guests who share their stories, struggles, and triumphs to help you navigate your journey. I'm Julius, your host. Welcome to Tammy Julius Podcast.
Hi, lovely people. Welcome back on another episode on Time with Julius. I'm here today with the one and only, the Lady Ajo. How are you, Lady Ajo?
I'm very well, thank you.
How are you feeling today?
I'm blessed and graced for my race.
I'm honored to have you on today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Yeah. So I'm just gonna go straight into it. You fascinate me a little bit. And just a tiny bit, because I want to understand your background, what you do, and because I feel like you do so much and you're very good at what you do. Do you know what I mean? So can you introduce yourself to our audience?
Okay, well, my name is Priscilla Esinam Kochu, but my brand name is Lady Ajo. And Lady Ajo is a development consultant and a life coach where I focus mainly on mindset transformation and personal development. I'm also a licensed counselor with the Ghana Psychology Council and also a member of the Ghana Christian Cancer Association.
Oh wow. Wow. That's a lot. So how has your journey been like? How has the journey been like for you?
Well, and I wasn't always like this. I would say, I'm a very flawed human being, but very intentional with the way I live, in the sense that I know I'm not perfect, and I'm not trying to be perfect, but I just have a growth mindset and a determined heart to just be more than anything, anyone, or myself think I couldn't be.
All right. And has the journey been smooth for you, or has they been like obstacles?
I mean, there's no smooth journey. Every journey has its lessons to be learned, its experiences, and for me, my journey has been a battle of my my original state as a person, how God created me, what my life experiences have been, and what I desire to be. So I'm constantly defining who I am because we are not stagnant as people, and life is not an event, but it's a journey, and every journey is a process. So every day I put in the work to get to where I need to get to.
All right. So then everything that happens to you in your life, okay, it is meant to happen. Is that what?
Not everything is meant to happen. Life is about choices. And then we have that which you can't control, the inevitable. The inevitable ones are the one that the creator himself orchestrates to build your character. Because I believe that the end is what matters. Okay. And in as much as we have our own choices and we do what we want to do, God also has a plan for us. And that plan is to give us an expected end. So regardless of what the uncontrollable is, The Bible says he works all together for your good. So for me, whether it's bad, good, the end is for my good.
Yeah.
So I have to stick it out
Yeah.
and make sure I get to the end of it all.
So clearly, you're not really bothered about what's happening to you right now. It's about you're more focused about the end goal.
What is happening to me? The Bible says that even if you worry, you cannot. Worry doesn't change anything. And so then, what changes what you're worried about?
Yeah.
Action.
Mm.
And so, if I sit and cry for 100 years, I'll remain in the same spot. But I don't believe in crying over spilled milk. I rather believe in getting up and going to buy a new milk.
Yeah.
Let me put it that way.
Because it's always good to have this conversation because I want people to understand. And that's why I ask you that question, because there's a lot of people go through a lot of things and they don't really know how to come out of it. You know, it gets difficult because they have no idea, they have no knowledge about how to come out of it. So this, I'm sure people are going to take a lot from it and going to learn a lot from what you just said, you know, because you can't just sit there and, dwell too much on your struggles. You know what I mean? Whether you like or not, there's gonna be struggles.
Well, the truth of the matter is that, you see, until the pain of your situation is more than the pain it will take you to change, you don't change. Nobody changes in their comfort zone. People change where it is unbearable. Then you decide to either die or fight. And that is even a choice. I'm not saying I'm a superwoman.
Yeah.
I cry. I'm a crybaby. I cry. But after crying, I clean my face and I get up and I go and do what I need to do.
Yeah.
I'm human. Sometimes the blows that come are tougher than others. But for me, I have no option but to win. I can't afford to fail. You know why? Because my life is not about me. If you understand the purpose of your life, you realize that there are destinies that are tied to your destiny. And so what your inaction can cause is a delay of somebody's manifestation. And so if I can afford to fail myself, I can afford to fail others. So it's a calling for me to do well in life.
Yeah. And to inspire other people.
My life is about impact. Like,
Yeah.
I love seeing, whatever you have experienced in life cannot benefit you because the experience was yours. But the knowledge that you gained is what you transfer to people. And that is what impact is about.
Yeah.
So my life is all about impact.
Right. Awesome. So one thing that I would like to find out is how you got into that space, your field of expertise.
Well, it's about my life experiences. That's my motivation. The things I experienced in life, and then my predestined purpose, they aligned when I accepted who I was. So in life, when we start off, we usually think that we are just living out life how we want it. But life itself, it's a pre-recorded scene.
You reckon?
It's a pre-recorded scene because whatever the physical side of us manifests is already spiritually ordained. That's my belief. And so if the things that you call your bad experiences are the school of hard, like is the school that life demands of you to make you who you need to be. And so my experiences in life informed my choice. It has brought me this way. And upon getting to this point, I realized that God was very intentional with me. Every single experience that I've had in life shaped who I am. Me becoming when I was young, let me tell you this. When I was young, people used to say I talk a lot because I'm a very expressive person. I like to express myself. And I ask questions because I want to understand. And people think, people have a problem when you ask them questions too much. They think you're being some way. So, people said I used to talk a lot. But then I grew up believing I was an extrovert because I was always out there. But along the line, going to uni to study psychology, I realized that most of whatever I was doing before that very moment was a form of grief, not who I actually was. Because my father died very early.
Mhm.
And in our culture as Ghanaians, we do not, everybody is thinking about the mother who lost the father, but who is explaining the change to the child.
Mm.
So then for me, I saw a lot of change with no explanation. So I was already at conflict with my mind and what my new reality was.
Mm.
And the dynamic of my family also made in such a way that my siblings are older, they've gone to boarding schools. My mom is out every day working. So you are stuck with yourself.
Yeah.
So you don't even talk much when you're at home and all that. So when you meet people, you want to have a conversation because now, yeah, people have come around. And also, I didn't understand myself. I didn't feel like I fit in anywhere. Even in my early ages, going out to places, following people here and there was because I wanted to belong. Because of the void of that loss I had at a very early age. And I would say when I got to uni and I understood that all that was grief, that was the beginning of my transition.
Right.
Because now and then having to personally develop in educating myself, I came to understand who I was. So sometimes people say that, oh, you've changed so much. You've changed so much. Actually, I didn't change. I just became who I already am.
Yeah.
Or let me not even use became. I accepted who I was. And so I was no longer interested in going out because now I didn't need that to make me
Is it more
or
about
validate me.
you found yourself?
Yeah. Self-actualization, personal development, where you now understand yourself as a person, your purpose as a person, your self-concept, what drives you. Every human being is driven by something.
Yeah.
Guilt, pleasure, or pain.
Whether you like it or not, it can't go without these three. Now, talking about personal growth, and you just mentioned about your kind of relationship with your, because you didn't have your dad, you lost your dad, when you were very young, and then you didn't really. I mean, you said your mom was working a lot, and that brings my mind to parenting. What's because they are our mothers, they are kind of parenting is different from our kind of parenting.
Definitely.
Sometimes I ask myself, which one is the best? Which one should I? Because I'm a dad as well, and the way I was brought up is I mean, I don't like it because so I'm not trying to use the same kind of strategy, to bring up my daughters, So sometimes I get stuck about how should I go? Should I just use my own way, or because some of like the things my dad did to me, or to us as children, was very, very I would say most of them I didn't like it. I don't know if it was right or
Give
but
me
I
an
did not
instant.
like it.
Give me an instant.
Just for an example, it's just the way I saw my dad treating our children and the way he was treating us was different.
You
For
think he was
instance,
nicer to them
yeah,
than you?
way nicer to them than us, and it made me have this kind of resentment, about him up until today, and bless him. I can tell that he's actually trying so much, to be closer to me. But it's not. I'm not even gonna blame anyone. It's me. I've put that barrier there. I've just stopped because I feel like it's too late now. I don't need this now.
Is it?
I've been through it. And the time that I needed you the most, you were not there. So why? I mean, why now? Can do everything by myself. Do you know
Well,
what I
I
mean?
can tell you that you're not over it, first of all, because there is something about pain. When you're talking about pain, your pupils dilate. And so a lot of people don't know it. Oh, I'm over it. But when you started talking, there are muscles on your forehead that shows the level of pain you're feeling. Those veins pop out. And that tells me that you are not, it's from you spoke from a deep space, which means that it's an unresolved trauma. And the fact that you have not made peace with it means that you have not dealt with it at all.
Nah.
And it is going to surface in how you parent your children unconsciously. Now, your father doesn't live with those other children. They are guests. And how do you receive guests? Warmly. And after they go their way, they are not his responsibility. And so if he fails to discipline them, it doesn't affect him. But if he fails to discipline you, it reflects on him. And so whatever your dad did, good or bad, has shaped the very man you are now. And so if you look at life from a different perspective and see your dad as somebody who did his best. Now, have you ever asked your dad how his upbringing was? Because he did what he thought was best for you at that time based on what he knows. So we as children need to learn to forgive our parents for loving us the way they know how to. Some of the things we demand from our parents, they did not even get. Maybe your dad didn't even get quarter of what he gave you. So in his mind, he has tried. But upon seeing how the new world is deeming or demanding parenting to be, he can say that, okay, maybe I hurt you in a way, because in our African culture, we spank children when they are wrong.
Yeah.
And we justify it with the biblical say, spread the rod and spoil the child, so they will beat you till your skin pops. You understand? But that leaves scars in the mind of a child. Nobody likes pain. And so all those things are kinds of trauma that we have to deal with, our childhood traumas that we don't deal with. And so we grow as wounded adults and we bleed as we go. And every wound, no matter how much cover you put on it, if you don't deal with it to the core, it would always keep rotting deeper.
Yeah. You just said something that actually hit a nerve about how we should consider, or we should try and find out how our parents were brought up in the first place. Because maybe when I never thought about it like that, in that way, about how he was brought and what he knows. And, because to me, in my head, I'm like, he knows what he's doing. He's doing this on purpose.
That's what you think, because that's how you viewed it, because you were also comparing your home with other people's homes and you thought that your dad could do better.
Yeah.
What standard do you measure him by that he didn't do well? He did well by his own standards. But you think he didn't do well because you're comparing him to other dads. But you don't know the challenges that other people had in their homes because they haven't told you. If some people didn't have a dad at all, you had, and you have resentment that he didn't pamper you in a certain way.
Well, it wasn't. I wouldn't use the word pamper because I'm a guy. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm a man. I'm supposed to be a man. I'm not expecting my dad to baby me even as a child.
Now let me correct something that you just said. I'm a man. I'm supposed to be a man. What is masculinity? A lot of men think being a man is the avoidance of being human, where they don't show emotions, where they have to be hard, men don't cry and things that they tell you. That is not who a man is supposed to be. A man is a human being. He's called a man just to identify him. You still have blood in your veins. Whatever hurts a woman can hurt you. But we have given this narrative that, oh, you're a man, you don't have to cry, you're a man, you have to be tough. Men are suffering. Let's talk about that one.
Yeah.
You can be a man and still be in touch with yourself. And that's what true masculinity is about. Accepting who you are and acknowledging your emotions as they come. Don't avoid them because they say you should be a man. No. Being a man doesn't mean you don't have emotions. Men who come and say, I don't love, I don't this, I don't that. It doesn't make you a superman if you say, I don't have feelings, I don't have this, I don't have that. It doesn't make you more of a man. No, it actually means that you're a weak man. You haven't identified who you are as a person.
Yeah.
So you are a wounded person. Most of the things that men bottle up is the reason why we are seeing high rates of suicide among men these days. In the sense that men cannot open up about how they feel. Men grieve. But they grieve in isolation and they grieve with no support. And so it becomes harder for them to even deal with whatever they are going through. Because one, you can't cry for anyone to see. And let me say this. Crying is a healing method that God created.
Yeah.
Because when you cry, your burden becomes lighter. It is a silent way of the healing. Crying doesn't mean anything weakness. It is a channel of grief. You understand? There is not good emotions or bad emotions. They are just emotions you need to process and get through them. You understand?
So it's fine to cry.
It is absolutely okay to cry. Listen, cry if you have to, because sometimes that is the only thing that can get you through that day. Cry. When I do grief counseling, there's what I usually tell people is that cry as much as you want. When you're done, we'll continue. And if I'm counseling and I realize that you haven't cried, I will, at some point in time, I'll provoke that tears out of you.
Yeah.
Because until you break that you break down at a certain point, you can't pick it up. And so you see that men can't talk about their problems. Maybe the man is broke. He's lost his job. Something is going wrong in his body. Even he can't even get erected, even in bed. There are issues that men have that it is shameful for them to talk about because they are men.
Yeah.
But this is just life. And these things happen every day. You go to the hospital and people have prostrate and all those kind of things. And it's not news. So why should you having an issue as a man be an issue? No.
It's okay.
Talk about it. Feel free about it. And if your circle of friends don't support you talking, they're not your friends.
Yeah.
Because men are human too.
That's true. That's actually. I remember who was it? I think it was one of our episode, and or maybe someone else. And then there was this story that he said that actually touched me about men, and there was this group of men that always travel, go to football, go watch football together, go do everything together. They have family, they have, friends, and then next minute, one of them committed suicide, then they found out that how the things that he was going through, but then in the midst of the men, everyone is happy.
He never spoke
It seems everyone is happy, and then what they found out is, because yes, they are a group of friends, yes, they are men, but they never gave each other the chance to open up to that extent. So when they meet, they only talk about football, they talk about money, they talk about, the things that they think, but then deep down, there was a lot going on with one of them. It probably even more than just the one that committed suicide, but maybe he couldn't handle it and he had to commit the suicide. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just saying how important it is to encourage ourselves,
It is. And usually what brings about depression is comparison in life. Usually we should understand that life is in stages, seasons and times. You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days. Now, if it is raining today, how many of us are able to gather water for tomorrow? How many of us think about tomorrow in every action we take today? And how many of us understand that life will not always be good? How many of us understand that some days you cry, some days you'll be happy? It doesn't mean your life is going bad because you have a bad day. We have to sit down and have these conversations with ourselves. And also, when life is going bad for you, it's not about what other people have going on. Because you see, some people may have it going on now, but the end will not be well. You may have a rough start and kick off in the middle, but you end well. We all have different journeys and different seasons. We need to acknowledge seasons because, see, our journeys are different. And sometimes what you think is your low is a step to your high. And so if you don't learn how to embrace your low, you can never stand high. It is difficult. And today I had a client this morning who was telling me about a huge sum of money he lost and how he tried to commit suicide 7 times.
Oh, wow.
And today he's sitting on big board corporations and he said he never thought that he would come back.
Wow.
Because all the people that he started with, most of them have even died. And some of them are way up there. But the fact that he stuck it out and went through it has got him this way. And he's happy. And he said he acknowledges his wife for being the person who held the fort for over 4 years.
Wow.
How many women can do that
exactly
now?
What I was gonna ask.
And so now let's talk about the partners that we are choosing. Now we're talking about beauty
Yeah.
more than any other thing.
Yeah.
And we are not talking about personalities.
Mm.
You know, we go and look at blood, we go and do blood tests to see if we are compatible to have children, but we don't do personality tests to see if we are compatible as individuals, because the Bible says, can two work together unless they agree?
Yeah.
So if we don't have anything to agree on, we cannot work together, and we have no business being together. You understand?
Yeah.
So we should go deeper in surrounding ourselves with the right people. And then also sometimes parents should also create that relationship where their children can come and tell them what they are going through without one query or criticism. Sometimes when your children tell you what they are going through, sit on it for a while before you come back at them, because that immediate reaction can turn them away from you for good.
Yeah.
And so sometimes just sit with them and just say, I've heard you, but I know you'll be fine.
But where do you cross the line, though?
Where do you cross the line with your child?
Yeah.
Well, you see, people process things differently. And so when I come to you and tell you that maybe this thing hurts me, try and understand why I feel it hurts me. Maybe you can give me a different perspective to build my mindset about that particular issue.
Okay.
But when I come to you and then you just shout at me and say, oh, go and sit down. Like, you know how Ghanaians do when people go through heartbreaks, which is a major issue. But people will say, oh, I don't want to broken heart that.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Yeah, go over it.
That same broken heart can cause somebody to commit suicide.
Yeah.
You understand? It is not about the relationship that hurts the people.
Yeah.
It's the expectations that got disappointed that hurts people.
That's it. That's so true.
It's true.
Yeah. One time I also realized that as well. It's the expectation. If you don't get hurt if you don't have expectation.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't get hurt if you don't have expectation.
Not at all.
I like that. I love the way you talk so passionately about personal growth and all that. How does personal growth, how does it mean to you?
You see, for me, evolving as a person is what life is about. And there is nothing that must live that will not grow.
Yeah.
And so if you look at life, the cycle of life, there is a day to be born, there's a day to die, and in between is where life happens. And so in between, how do you make the best of it? And for me, because change is difficult, I focus more on mindset transformation, because the view you have of life is how you live it. And so if life is not good for you, change your view. And the only way you can change your views is by changing your mindset about things.
Yeah.
Because your experiences, your perception creates your life experiences, your self-concepts. They create a perception. And so where you are sitting, you can write 6 here. I will stand somewhere, it will look 9. You start somewhere, it will look 6. Okay?
Yeah.
Because it's a perspective. Now, your life experiences, they don't need to define you. But your ideologies, your principles, your values, they define you. And as a person, you must have a moral compass where you draw the line between good and bad.
Yeah.
If you need people to always come and tell you that this is bad, then you don't have a conscience. And if you don't have a conscience, then you're not living. Because your conscience is your compass to navigate.
I love that. So, oh gosh. I mean, I don't know why I didn't find you long time ago. I don't know why, but everything happens for a reason.
There's a time and season for everything.
Yeah. So tell me, Lady Ajo, how can effective communication play a role in personal growth?
You see, communication is in diverse forms. Communication is not just verbal, it's non-verbal. Now, communication even has to do with your image as well. And that's why people say you dress how you want to be addressed, because that is your first form of communication is not the verbal, it's the non-verbal. And for deep-minded people, they read in between the lines of your conversation, because what you are not saying is louder than what you're saying usually. So communication in personal development is learning how to present yourself how you want to be accepted by others, not what others predict you to be, but what you want them to believe to be you.
You have to let them know.
No, you see, let's say you're a product on a shelf.
Yeah.
Without a description, I would never know what you are. So I may come and buy you, but I will have no name to recommend you. But if I know that this is what you're made of, this is who you are, that is how I will sell you.
Yeah.
So it's just as simple as that. Life, we are commodities. Okay? And our life is a project that we are working on. So how you decide to market yourself is how people would identify you and buy you.
Yeah.
So everybody has a price. No, it's as simple as that.
It's as simple.
Everybody has a price tag.
Yeah. Okay. Let me allow you to explain what value is to us.
Well, I would say value is to make it simpler to understand. Let's say value is the price you put on yourself, and value is the result you give people when they meet you, or the value that people take away, or what people take away when they come into contact with you. Because your values as a person, it's not just, oh, this is what I do, this is what I don't do, but it's about what you carry and what you bring to the world. And so value is not just about what you see yourself to be or what you've placed on yourself or how society views you, but it's also about what you give out.
So it's not about what you have.
What you have is what you give.
But when you have it, you have to give it.
Automatically, what you have is what you give, because your existence in this world is always giving something. Whether you're giving it willingly or not, you are giving.
So how come we have like high values and we have low values?
Well, we have high values.
If it's what I have, or do you know what I mean? Like if it's what I have and that's what I'm giving, how come there's like high values and there's like low values?
Because in my point of view, value must be developed. Okay, let's say I want people to see me a certain way. Do I see myself a certain way? Have I put myself in a place for people to see me that way? You understand? And then when people meet me, do I give that value that I say I want to give, or how I see myself? Do I give that same value to people? Now, we have high value because we have people who have invested in themselves. The quality of their life. Not about living, but the quality of their mind, the state of their emotion, and the principles by which they live by. And that takes discipline and responsibility.
Could financial be part of it as well?
Financial value is dicey to say, because money alone doesn't give you respect.
Yeah.
Because you see, at the end of a man's life, money is not the goal. If you look at Maslow's theory, the hierarchy, at the end of people's life, that is when they seek self-actualization, because that is when they want to get in tune with themselves, because true happiness is not acquisition. True happiness is a state of being. And so it's a mindset.
Can you repeat that for me, please? True happiness.
True happiness is not an acquisition of things, but it is a state of mind. Because poverty and rich is a state of mind. It's not how much you have. It's about how much you use what you have and how valuable what you have is to you.
Wow. Great. Awesome. Let's oh gosh, I'm loving this conversation so much. I'm not gonna lie. I forgot I forgot for a second that I'm doing the interview.
You're fine.
I forget.
You're doing good.
Okay, all right. So I have this question here. Let's talk about the power of mindset. Okay, the power of mindset. Can you explain the concept of a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset?
Fantastic. I love that.
Oh, you're so good. How do you know my question?
It is my field. It's my niche, mindset transformation. So you see, life comes with, like I said, I was telling you something earlier, that we have the created self, how God created you. and we have life experiences that determine or try to give you a new narrative of what your reality should be. And then we have the desired self, who you wish to be, who you want to be, or who you can be.
I think I need to put the laptop down. I think I need to.
Now, the conflict of these things sometimes alters a month, because in life, we have life altering events that change how you view the world, how you see, or your ideology about life. It can be your upbringing, it can be some experience, it can be, it can be education, it can be illness, it can be something, loss, grief, anything can alter the way you see your view of life. But your ability to move past that obstacle and keep pushing is what we call growth mindset. The ability to see the good side of things, the possibility of even a bad outcome, and say, I'm going to go push and go for this. And a fixed mindset is where you accept the state that you have been presented, or whatever states that you think you are, and say, this is where I am. Me, I'm not good. Me, I'm not beautiful. I cannot do this. I cannot do that. Whatever you say you are, that is who you are. There's no two ways about it. And when you say you see, even healing medically is as a state of your mindset. If you are sick and you keep telling yourself that this sickness will not kill me, there's a 99% chance it will not kill you. Because your mind has a way of healing the body. And so we are what we think we are. And we live life the way we think we should live. And that's based on the choices we make. And the outcome of our life is based on the choices we make and the responsibilities we take. Period.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Okay.
So mindset is fascinating.
Yeah,
But
because it looks like everything is about the mindset.
See, life is about mindset. Your mindset attracts money to you. Your mindset keeps you alive. Your mindset gives you the strength to fight. Your mindset even releases the chemicals that makes you happy. Your mind is your mind is your ally or your enemy.
So therefore, you need to have a growth mindset.
It's necessary to have a growth mindset. It is necessary for survival.
Yeah. What would you say to the people that have like fixed mindset?
You are not an event, so don't stop where you have failed. There is life beyond failure, because failure is just a lesson that you learned the hard way. It doesn't mean you have to stop there. Whatever you want to do, do it. And let me say this, people should stop feeling entitled that life owes them something. And that is why most people stop where they fail. Because they feel like, maybe if this person did this for me, I'll be here, or if maybe this and this and that. Listen, let me say this controversial statement.
Okay.
The most disciplined people I know are those who have it all.
How so?
Because you see, they are not trying to prove a point, they're trying to live a life. But those who don't have, their first mindset when they get is to prove a point.
Sure.
And so they end up losing.
the vision.
And most people who are in a certain state that should develop are comfortable because they have accepted the fixed mindset that see, if money is not born from, if you are not born into money, money must be born from you. One way or the other, you have to make the money. But it's a choice, though.
That again, please. Can I have that again, please? Can I repeat? Can you repeat?
If money is not born from you, money must come from you. And if money must come from you, you must know that you have to change the bloodline. You have to change the generation. Now, status. And that requires you to sacrifice beyond what everybody would accept to a point where you know that you have made it. Your parents not having doesn't mean you cannot have. And your parents having doesn't mean you cannot lose it.
You can change everything.
Choice
Up to you.
See, visualization is key to any man's success. If you cannot see it in your mind's eye, you cannot have it physically. Because even the Bible says that, what is faith? Faith is the evidence of things hoped for. It's the evidence of things hoped for, not seen. So it's a mental process. So your ability to believe that you can even be rich is faith, and faith is a mindset.
Yeah. So you can have faith, but you can't develop your personal growth. Personal mindset.
You cannot have faith without a personal,
I'm talking about the people
without a growth mindset.
There's some people that have faith, but they haven't
don't
got
have
that
faith.
growth mindset.
See, there's a difference between hope and faith. Faith is the belief in an outcome that you have not seen because of a conviction you have within yourself. Now, but hope is a wish. There's no surety. Hey, I hope somebody will remember me. It's a probability.
Yeah.
But faith's the possibility.
Yeah. So hope it's not guaranteed. Yeah. It's just
hope is like you are wishing in the wind. But faith is a possibility because you are taking steps for it, because you have you see, your growth mindset has given you a conviction that this is possible.
Yeah. I have this question for you as well. So how can someone shift their mindset from limiting beliefs to empowering people?
Challenge your thoughts. Don't ask. See, your mind, not everything you think is true. Not everything you think is true.
Don't lie to yourself.
One of the things that keeps people in a fixed mindset is lying to themselves. Self-denial. Self-denial leads to self-sabotage, and it keeps you at a stagnant growth. If you can't tell yourself the truth, you can't convince somebody it's true. It is that simple. And so, if I had a bad experience, it's an experience. I can take the wisdom from that experience and still try that thing again. See, who are the masters of their game? Those who have failed several times and found new ways of doing whatever they failed at till they figured out how to do it. That is what growth mindset is. Doing it over and over again till you get it. So growth mindset is about resilience. It doesn't mean you won't fail. You will fail, Poto. You don't understand. Listen,
I'm laughing because it's like you are talking about me right now. That's how I'm feeling. It's like it's me, like you're talking about me and everything that's going on in my life.
It is life. Listen, if you do not understand failure, you cannot understand success. Because the only school that teaches you about success is failure. Because it lets you understand what it takes to make it, and it gives you the capacity to appreciate where you've come from and how to sustain what you've got. Those who rise smoothly take life for granted. And life will teach you a bitter lesson. Whether you learn it quick or later, regardless, you will learn it. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
Because life will test you for whatever you think you desire to see if you can truly manage it or if you really want it.
Yeah.
That is why resilience brings results. And discipline brings reward.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like I'm not right in my head, because the way I think, I don't give up. Everything I've actually programmed myself and programmed my mindset that everything is a lesson. Everything that will happen to me is a lesson. And I need to carry on. I need to keep doing it. And I need to keep doing it. And I need to consistency, because everything, all the successful
consistency
people,
is key.
Consistency.
Consistency
Very
is key.
consistent. And as he said, life do not owe you anything.
You owe yourself everything.
Yeah. So if you feel, you have to come back up yourself.
Listen, you and I can be sitting here today. Maybe in the next 1 year, you may be the richest guy in Ghana or beyond.
No, it's 1 year and a half.
1 year and a half.
Yeah. I will be.
But how often do you tell yourself that? Because the most important conversation that you would ever have in life is the one you have with yourself.
Yeah.
Because your battle in life is not with anybody, it's with your mindset. The things you want to do, the things you think you can do, and the things you believe you should do. That's the battle that we have in life. The things that you should accept, the things that you should reject, the things that you think you are deserving of, the things that you think you're not deserving of. It is you against you. It's not you against anybody.
Yeah.
It's just you.
It's you.
That's why it's a personal development.
Yeah.
When you develop yourself, you see, even the people you love, the only way you can truly show love to them is to develop yourself. Because when you learn how to take care of yourself, that's how you take care of those you love.
So do you think the people around us, our circle, plays a major role as well?
It's key.
So if you're not finding the right people around you, then what should you do? Move yourself from them?
First of all, if you cannot enjoy your own company, you're not ready for anybody's company.
Okay.
So instead of finding people, find yourself. What you attract is who you are, not what you want to be.
Wow.
So we are literally around the people that we are like, whether we know it or not. We may have different characteristics, but our mindset is what we attract.
Mindset. Let's talk about transformation journey. Okay. So what are some of the common obstacles people face during their transformational journeys?
People pleasing, people's opinion, public opinion. The best decision you can ever take in life is from a selfish point of view, where you don't consider anybody or any other thing but yourself. Because when you
Could you elaborate on that for us, please?
When you begin to view, you see, most of the, why do you dress well? You dress well because often you want people to say you look good. But how often do you dress because you want to feel good? 99% of everything we do, we are considering people's perception. We are even looking for validation most of the time. But even if people validate you and you don't validate yourself, it's void.
And that's how we feel.
Yes, so we are living life on people's terms. But your race is at your own pace. So if you don't learn how to walk before you run, you will fail. And and most people need to define success for themselves. Success is not defined the same for everybody. You see, there's wealth and there's riches. Wealth comes with a certain state of mind. Riches is acquired for comfort. But when you are wealthy, it's beyond comfort for you. It's a state of being. You understand? You need to define success for yourself. And you see, and most people who are successful, it's not about them anymore. It's about the impact they make in the world. Because success is not about what you have, but it's about what you give. Because what you give is who you are. So until you're successful, you cannot give any great impact to others. So success can be for somebody not money, but a state of mind.
State of mind.
But for somebody who is hungry, their loyalty is to cash. And that person defines life on their own terms.
I will bring us back a little bit, because you mentioned about pleasing people and people's perception and doing what.
100%.
And I remember, I'll tell you this, when I started, even today, even the podcast, when I started, because everyone's like, want to bring the opinion and all that, and people, most people are telling me, oh, do this, change this, do this, change this, and I'm like, okay, and when I started, now it's like, it's a little bit, well, it's not as much as before, but when I started, everyone, when they call you, they tell you their opinion, like what they think you should do, and before I was listening to them, and I realized, no, actually, why am I even listening to them? Because yes, I need to grow, in whatever I'm doing, and I need advice. It's fine, you can advise me, but then I said to myself, actually, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'll allow anyone to tell me whatever they want to tell me, but then I'll pick what I think will be best for me, or to add
100%.
to my direction. Because
100%.
I have my own direction. I have my own journey. You called me to tell me you should do this. You don't know but the end point. But I know I've planned it. I know this is the direction and I know the end. But you don't know. So how are you telling me what I should do or the way I should do my thing? You get it? So I mean, it's very, very important because at the time, if I didn't have that mindset, I would have switched and do what A told me. And then after A, when if you do what A will tell you to do, then B will call you, do it that this way, and then you do what B is telling you,
Yeah.
and then you do what C is telling you,
Yeah.
and then you do you know what I mean? You feel lost.
You're living life to
Yeah.
please people, yeah.
Yeah, because you're not yourself.
One thing about life is that you must sieve the information that you hear.
Mm.
If you allow everything to come to you, you have a lot of trash in you. So have a life purpose. Have a goal for your life. See the end result. See, if you know your end, there's so much you wouldn't do.
Mm.
If you know your end, there's so much you wouldn't do because there's so much we do that we should never do. We have no business doing because of where we are going tomorrow. That is why people make certain life choices and then they regret in the future because of where they've gotten to. But at that point in time that they were making it, they were okay making those choices.
Mm.
But along the line, they regret making it because now they know better. It's okay to forgive yourself if you didn't know better. But when you come to know better, you have no choice but to do better.
Yeah.
And in life, you are very unfortunate if you are fortunate because you see, to whom much is given, much is expected. And so if you are giving much, you have no excuse not to do much.
Mm. Yeah.
And the people that tell you, hey, how, I believe in feedback. But like you said, you must be selective based on what aligns with your goal, your purpose, and your vision for yourself.
Yeah.
Because usually people like to live their field life through other people's lenses. And so you have people say, hey, you do this and do that and do that because they sometimes people are telling you how they want you to live.
Yeah. That's what it is.
But I would say there is no, for me, even the negative comments are positive. You know why? Because nobody can tell you how bad you are doing, like the person who hates you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you are wise, when they tell you that your leg is crooked, next time you stand straight.
Yeah.
The next time they'll change the narrative.
Yeah.
And the more they do, the better you become.
Transformation journey. Can you share a success story or an example of transformation that stands out to you?
Well,
Experience.
for me, one thing I believe that everybody can change. No exception. Everybody can change. How you start may not be the best. Let me give you a story about myself. Now, when I was growing up, I probably was told I was not the smartest person.
Oh wow.
Because I didn't learn like how everybody learned. My siblings are very intelligent. So most of them were on scholarship. I mean, I paid school fees, so I probably did that money in the house. You get it. So,
yeah.
And for me, what everybody will walk straight and go and get, I probably have to do it roundabout before I get it. So my journey is not like everybody's journey. Yeah. All my siblings can go straight. When it gets to my turn, it will never be straight for me. But you see, whether it's U-turn or roundabout, I'll get to that end. Because I'm proving a point to myself that I'm good enough. To a point that I have invested in myself, disciplined myself. I can tell you for a fact I don't have a social life.
Sorry. At the time that you felt like, or people felt like you were not good enough and you had to maybe do things differently from everyone else. What were you feeling? Like, how are you feeling? How was the feeling like?
I wasn't happy. I've had to go through depression a couple of times. I've had to cry myself to sleep a couple of times. And I think a lot. Because I'm trying to figure out, how do I get it right? And it's not about who's next to me. It's about how I get it right.
For yourself?
For myself. Because I can only do what I can do. And I am S now. And that is who I am. You see, when you come to understand that God created us all in his own image, yet we are never the same, you understand that God is a God of variety. So he doesn't need anybody to conform to anybody to be who he has created you to be.
Yeah.
As flawed as I am God's image. And nobody knows me better than God. And so for me, my policy is that if God knows my truth, I care less about you. You cannot change my life. But God can change my life. And God can use any other man to change my life aside you.
Mm.
So why should I live my life for you? No. You're not bigger than that. You're not bigger enough to no. Do you know what God can do?
And what you said about God is like right now made me something just popped in my head right now. And what you said is like everyone is different and we are all different in our own ways. And what just came in my mind is the pyramid of Egypt.
Yep.
I feel like that's the maybe they left it there for us to understand how life and how because there's one of the pyramids, right? The bricks. You see the bricks they use the bricks to make the pyramids, right? And do you know that every one of the stones, right? The stones that they
The
use,
bricks,
are different.
Yeah.
They are not the same size. Imagine like millions of stones, all of them are different size, but they come together to form the pyramid.
See, imperfection is perfection. Imperfection is perfection. If you are perfect, then you are flawed.
Yeah.
Because you have no room to grow. And God made us imperfect so we can be perfect in him. The trick here is that in your quest to be perfect in him, you find your true self. And so you become so aligned, you become at peace. So there's no need for perfection. You become at peace and satisfied with yourself.
Yeah.
So it's not really about perfection, it's rather about alignment. And anybody who goes in search of personal development finds God, not religion. God. And God is to you what you know him to be.
Wow. Right. Did you want to finish with the example of transformation, or you
I'm okay. We can skip it.
So let's talk about practical strategies.
Sure.
Okay. So what practical strategies can listeners implement to improve their communication skills?
Talking to yourself. If you cannot talk to yourself, don't talk to anybody. Talk to yourself. There are times where I stand in the mirror, I will be crying my eyes out. And unfortunately for me, if I cry small, then my eyes are swollen. So if I cry small, if I cry and I don't sleep, then you see that my eyes are all puffy. But the thing is that there are times I stand in the mirror and I cry. And I tell myself that I will make it. Let me tell you something. I made it once and I lost it all.
How so?
Life. But I believe that before you can make it to a certain point, they will give you, test you, take it, and give you more.
So the challenges don't stop.
How do you grow? See, growth is personal, but the result is collective. Nobody ever goes to ask the seed that was planted, are you okay? Is the sun so hot? Is the rain too much? Did I step on you so much on the ground? Nobody questions the seed, but everybody comes for the fruit. That's just life. So talk to yourself.
So how can individuals set achievable goals for their personal development?
It's not about big goals. It's about consistency. Do it over and over again. It becomes a habit. And habits become lifestyles, and lifestyles build character.
Consistency.
Consistency is the key. There's no transformation. There's no transformation without consistency. Because change is hard. Change is very hard. You have to keep at it.
And you need a very strong mindset to be consistent.
I won't say a strong mindset, but a willing spirit.
Okay.
The willingness to keep going. The resilience is what builds the mindset.
Yeah.
Because you feel, see, when you fall down, okay, the ground doesn't break. You may get hurt. And the ground doesn't hold you to the floor. But you can stay down as long as you feel the pain until you're ready to get up. It's just life.
I've said this and I'll say it again. I always say this. You can blame someone for knocking you down, but you can never blame anyone for not
staying
getting back
down.
up.
Yep. Listen,
If
absolutely.
you want to lie down there for 100 years, that's your business. That's up to you.
If I came in with a fractured leg, the way I will walk is how people may describe me. But after my leg is healed, you cannot use that same identity to describe me.
Yeah.
Because it's no longer a thing on me.
Mm.
That's why I believe everybody can evolve. That's how I see mistakes. That's how I see challenges. It may be your identity today, but you can change it. See, do you know how many times people predicted who I should be in my life? And when I have somebody who I went to school with who said last time, I think on a podcast already, that, hey, when I look at you, I know that God can change anybody. And then I go back to the mirror and I ask myself, was
it that bad though?
Was it that bad though? But you see, it wasn't that bad. It was never that bad. You were never that bad. But they just didn't expect you to be better. So it's not really you, but it's them.
Mm.
Because I'm the same person.
Yeah.
And growth is allowed.
Yeah.
You have also grown.
Mm.
You're not the same person I knew that time. You have grown.
Yeah.
So what should you? God has not done so much for you.
Yeah.
But you see, like I said, who I was at my early stages was me grieving. So when I found myself and became aligned with myself, people thought I had changed. I didn't change. I self-actualized. So I was already the same person. I just didn't know it.
Yeah.
Until I started developing myself in search of my own development. And I found alignment with who my true self is. So this is I would say the real me. And funny enough, it was when I went to school that I found out that I was not even an extrovert.
Oh wow, really?
I'm a selected extrovert. So that means that when I come into social gatherings, because of my nature, I like people to talk, people to be happy around me. Yeah. But after a while, I go back and I like my space a lot. So I can stay at home. So
you're not really an extrovert then?
I'm not. Because I can stay at home. I like my space. I can even go out and after a while I start feeling sick. But the minute I get to my door, I'm fine.
Good. Wow. Let's talk about how we're going to overcome these challenges. So what advice would you what advice do you have for someone struggling to stay motivated in their personal development journey?
Give yourself a reason every day. It's a choice. Give yourself a reason every day. Write it on a bold paper and stick it on your wall if you have to. Make it your screensaver if you have to. Put it anywhere you see, something that reminds you.
Remind yourself.
Or you can like in the David, like in the Bible, you can keep something of old that reminds you of your journey and why you want to go where you want to go. Give yourself a reason every day. Maybe it's the food you are eating. Yeah. It can be your reason every day. Every day woody gari, every day woody gari. Let that gari be your motivation. Say, one day I will not eat gari. That's why I like that Shatawale song that says 20 million years, if you stop me. You understand? Because it's not about here and now. It's about I'm going there. Tomorrow is the goal, not today. Yeah. Give yourself a reason every day. And learn to forgive yourself. You see, it's not automatic. It is hard.
It's hard.
But don't stop.
It's hard.
It's hard, but don't stop.
That's why people are scared. So that's why
change is scary because you don't know what to expect. But don't fear the unknown. Fear the known. The unknown is a is a possibility. Anything can happen. But the known is a state. It's done.
Is that the same as the how do they say it? The devil you know? Is it the devil you know?
No, I think that's different
That's
because the devil
that,
you know is telling you that and it's a form of limitation also, like what you already used to is safer than trying something new. It keeps you stagnant.
yeah.
You understand?
That yeah.
And you see, sometimes the one you already know is worse than the one you meet.
So we're gonna talk about building support system.
Yeah.
You know, so how important is community and support in personal development?
It's very important.
Mm.
No man is an island. And whatever we are developing is so we can fit properly into society. The world's problem we have is as equal as the people who have developed and undeveloped. And so society is who you are and how you relate with people. So if you know that I am going to, you live with people, okay? And so whatever you are developing will benefit other people as well. Like we talked about the fruits coming in and everybody comes to the fruit. Society is are those that eat the fruit, but you are the one who does the planting of the seed until it grows. And so community is valuable because whatever you become, the benefit of it all is what you impact back. So the people that are around you are key because sometimes when you go through difficulty, every now and then everybody needs a pat at the back and say, you can do this, you are okay. It's going to be okay. You need that one person who can tell you the honest truth when you are messing up. And you need somebody who believes in you regardless of your flaws.
But how do we differentiate between, this person what this person is telling me is really real, I have to consider that, or hating?
My dear, I'll tell you this. You always know the truth when you're being told. The only reason why we fight it is because we hate hearing the truth.
Yeah.
But we all know the truth. If somebody tells you you're a bad cook, you know already.
Yeah.
It's not news.
Yeah.
You just haven't accepted it because you like your own food.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know you can improve.
You know yourself.
You know you can improve. And so whatever people tell you that you know that is true, even if you fight it, work on it. I don't like sometimes people don't know how to tell people what is wrong. For me, I don't care. When I was young, or still, I don't like to be shouted at. If you shout at me, you see a different side of me. Because one, I don't believe that.
Did I raise my voice in anyhow to you?
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that when you're talking to somebody, you should raise your voice because I stammer, and so growing up, I struggled to speak, and so part of my self-esteem was not being able to finish my words, and people cut me off because they think it's stressful for them to listen to a stammer, and so now I talk the way I feel comfortable with. Comfortable, but people also tell me to speak slowly so that people can hear and understand. When I started doing podcasts and all the kind of things, people were like, "Oh, slow down, you talk too fast." But if I want to talk slow, I struggle. It's like I have to stop and breathe in between. I struggle, and so I found a way to do me, but also accommodate other people in the sense that when I talk small, I pause. So you can consume what I've said, then I can continue. So there's always a way around it. I don't know if I've answered your question.
Yeah, you have. Like, yes, I think you have. I don't know. Think you have. Take it by ear. Don't you edit this out. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Yeah, actually, you did earlier. Yeah. You've answered like how like people support, like you need the people around us to.
You need people to pat you at the back. You
Yeah.
need people to tell you the truth when it hurts the most, and you need people to celebrate you when you win.
That is actually this is what I was gonna ask you as well. But I feel like we've touched on that. That was gonna be my last question. But you've touched. But I'll ask you again anyway. So, what role does accountability play? And now can one find accountability partner?
I think everybody should have an accountability partner. First God.
Yeah.
Because see, if you can't be honest with anybody, you can be honest with God. He doesn't judge. He accommodates. And God is, I don't see anybody who gives second chances like God. Till infinity, He will give you a chance over and over again. He never gives up. Because God has faith in us. And so, have faith in yourself also. And then when you have a difficulty, pray. Before you talk to people, pray. Now, after you've done that, seek the right help. Ghanaians, or let me say Ghanaians, don't like to invest in themselves, especially into coaching, counseling, and transformation. But the world,
it's just that we're not there yet. Or what is it? What is it?
so we are not there to transform, but we are there to TikTok.
Punchline.
We have transformed, but we are investing in what is temporary. Soon we will grow and outgrow certain things, and we will realize that we have not grown ourselves. If you don't learn how to transition within seasons, you'll be irrelevant in different seasons.
Yeah.
And it's key.
Yeah.
So you must develop every time.
And I'll give you just one example as well, like Daddy Lumba, for instance. You know, he's been very consistent till today, and it's because of the fact he's so smart. You know, because so he realized that any upcoming, any hot artist, he would do a collaboration with them, and then that will make him stay, sustainable.
And then that is true. And one of the things I think that Lumba did very well is that Daddy Lumba sang about life, the realities of life. And so the content that he talks about is transgenerational. You will find somebody who can relate with it in every generation.
Yeah.
That's about it.
That's true.
And that's a value that he brought.
Yeah. So value again. Authentic. It would never go far.
See, authenticity. Now, before I go, let me say this to anybody. In this day and age, the world is moving so fast, and we are all living the script we've been presented, what society wants us to be. So most of us are not living who we should be. And that is our authentic self. Now, authenticity is not just being yourself or being comfortable within yourself. Authenticity is living your truth, speaking your truth, and acting out your truth. Which means that whatever you believe you are, live it, become it, and let others feel it. It's as simple as that. But if your mind is changing constantly about who you are, then it's not authentic. It is influenced by society, trends, and other things.
Yeah.
And so then it is hard to stay consistent because it's not who you are. So let's be authentic.
Let's be authentic. Let's be authentic, guys. Just be authentic. Is there anything that you want to talk about that I didn't give you the opportunity to talk about?
Yes. Well,
the platform is yours.
Please go follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. The name is the Lady Ajo. And on Facebook, it's Priscilla Esinam Kochu. But you still see the Lady Ajo there. And it's all blue tick verified. So please follow me. Instagram, you find me there. And hey, invest in yourself. This year, I have a lot of conferences and things going on. And so if you're following me, you catch up on a lot of things. And I have something coming up this year, which is called a mentorship circle.
Okay.
Where I will have 15 people in a room once every month. And then we take them through
50 or 15?
15, 1 5.
1 5, right.
So I want an intimate number because I want it to be impactful.
Right.
Where people get opportunity to learn a little bit about transformation that will provoke them to challenge their comforts and move ahead in life.
Awesome.
So
amazing.
That's it for now.
And you're doing so well.
How
do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Let me ask.
I am a voice, and I'll keep them. You see, I'll keep them listening. You see, I wanted to use that Shatawale line.
Yeah.
I am news,
and
so I'll make you keep talking.
God.
I am news, and I'll make you keep talking. I like his mindset.
Yeah.
I like. See, he represents everything I stand for. Transformation. he didn't give up.
Yeah.
He's still fighting the battle.
Mhm.
I don't like all his ways,
Mhm.
but I like his mindset.
Wow.
It gets him where he needs to get to.
He needs to do what he needs to do.
That's right.
Wow. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. This is actually one of the best conversations that I've had on my podcast.
I'm glad I could be of help.
Oh gosh, thank you so much for
You're welcome.
And please let's connect with the Lady Ajo. You
Please
know,
do,
I
please
mean,
do.
I'm sure. I hope you enjoyed this conversation, and I'm sure that you've learned something from it. You can leave a comment, and if you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, you can do so. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can have this. You can get more because we're gonna have you more times, isn't it? Because I told you I'm gonna use. You're gonna be on this podcast for like another 10 times because there's a lot of things that we can talk about.
Definitely.
So please, I would love to have you on again.
You see, this is emotional blackmail because he's doing it in front of the people.
I know what I'm saying. So you can't say no.
Well, I mean, it's wake me up at night and I'll still come and do this.
Yeah.
I live for it. It gives me joy.
Yeah. Thank you so much
You're
for coming.
welcome.
And thank you for watching us.
Thank you for spending time with us. Just remember, success is a journey, not a destination. Remember to keep what you've learned today and keep building it. Thank you.